name is Bhumika Chauhan. Welcome back to our channel. How are you all? So in today's video, we are going to study Fire and Ice, a beautiful and amazing poem. It's a short but very meaningful poem. As you all know, Robert Frost, he is an amazing writer and he talks about nature a lot. And in this poem, he is going to talk about two very powerful forces that can lead to the end of the world. These two forces can be the reason, right? Like fire and ice he's talking about, but this poem is not only about nature. Take care. This poem is about our thoughts, our feelings and our behavior. So it's a beautiful poem written by Robert Frost and it's a very short poem. So we will read the theme. First we will read the theme, after we will complete our poem. So let's get started. Stanza 1. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So he's talking about fire and ice and he's saying that these are two very powerful forces that can be the reason of the end of the world, right? So as you all have heard about like Qayamat, right? So he's saying some say that some people believe that the world will end in fire, that the end of the world, the reason for the end of the world will be fire. And here fire is not like a natural element fire, but it is like human emotion. And with fire, he's trying to convey jealousy, he's trying to convey hatred, he's trying to convey anger. So in the first stanza over here, the poet tells us about two different human emotions and obviously two different beliefs about how the world might end, right? There can be two reasons. Some people believe it will end because of fire, and some believe that it will end because of ice, right? Now poet over here shares his personal experience and says that some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. So some people believe that the world will end because of fire, like the temperature will rise so much that everything will be burned. Some say in ice, or some people believe that the temperature will go so down that everything will eventually end, right? So he's saying fire will be responsible for the end, then he's saying ice will be responsible. So there are two sets of people with different opinions, right? So from what I have tasted of desire, now he's sharing his personal experience. And he is saying that what I have tasted of desire, with fire he means desire, with fire he means jealousy, anger, right? That means, so it's basically a symbol of human emotion, like greed. Fire is basically symbol of greed, lust, anger, passion. So he's saying that all these human emotions, these feelings grow without control and they can destroy everything. They can clearly destroy everything. Just like fire burns everything in its path, right? These feelings, these emotions grow so rapidly that they can actually be the reason of your end. If you have greed, lust, anger, passion, right? So he's saying, I hold with those who favor fire. So he's saying that I am with all these people who think that fire will be the actual cause, right? And the world will end or might end because of fire. Because fire burns everything, as I told you, right? Fire burns everything that comes in front of it. Next one. But if it had to perish twice, perish means die, perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Suffice means sufficient. So, in this stanza, he is now talking about the world ending not once but twice. Okay, he's talking about that the world ending not once but twice. If the world had to, if the world had a second chance to end, then ice can also be the reason. And he believes that ice would be a strong enough force to destroy it if it had to perish twice. So ice over here symbolizes coldness. They ask this question, fire and ice are symbol of, and then they will put a question mark. So you have to write down the human emotions, the feelings, the hate. Ice is basically symbol of hate, cruelty, lack of love. Yes, lack of love, cruelty. Okay. So poet basically explains that if the world had a second chance, then ice is equally capable, right, to destroy it. So I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great. That for destruction, ice is also sufficient and would suffice. Suffice means be sufficient. So if you have cold-hearted behavior, if you have lack of emotions, if you have hatred, that thing can make human relationships lifeless, that can make human relationships empty, leading to destruction in another way. Right? It's like a slow poison. It's basically like a slow poison that it will end. Dheere, dheere, slowly, 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 slowly. If you have hatred in yourself, if you have hate, if you have lack of emotions, if you have lack of love, if you have cruelty inside you, then you are going to, you are going to die as a person. I'm not saying that physical death, but I'm saying that it's an important life lesson. These both are strong desires, fire and ice. Ice is hatred, fire is desire, and these two are harmful emotions. And if we do not control these emotions, they can destroy relationships, they can destroy peace, they can even destroy the world. Right? Yes. So the poem basically teaches us the value of self-control. It's an important point. And basically we need to understand the effect of our emotions on others. If we have hatred, if we have lack of love, that will eventually affect people around us. Yes or no? So extreme emotions, again I am telling you, fire is the symbol of desire, lust, greed, passion. Ice is the symbol of hatred, jealousy. So poet tells us that extreme emotions like anger, like greed, like hate can be destructive if not controlled. Okay. Yes or no? Yes. As you all can see that fire and ice both can cause damage to the world. And that's why desire and hatred can cause damage to our personal lives. You all know that. Right? So, poem explores two very powerful forces that could bring about the end of the world. Clearly, first one, fire. Second one, ice. Right? So, now he is comparing these two natural elements with human emotions. Fire represents anger, greed, lust, passion. Ice represents hatred, jealousy. Right? So, he is saying that some people believe that the world will end in fire, and some people believe that the world will be destroyed by ice. Right? There are two sets of people. Then he is saying that I personally feel that fire has that capability to, burn everything down. So he is basically trying to convey that anger, desires, passion, all these emotions have that particular ability to destroy you as a person, to destroy your emotional health, to destroy the lives of people around you. Right? So these are strong human emotions. Desire, passion, greed. Please do write these names. And when these feelings grow unchecked, they can become dangerous and destructive and can destroy your life and can burn everything in your path. Are you guys getting my point? If it is extreme love, if it is extreme ambition, if it is extreme obsession, so the poet suggests that intense emotions have the power, like they clearly have the power to ruin your life, your relationship, everything. Just like fire can turn everything to ashes. These human emotions can turn everything in your life to ashes. Right? Now he talks about another idea also, like the idea of ice, that if it had to perish twice, then if the world had another chance, like second chance to get destroyed, so ice has the capability, it can also destroy. So he's saying not only anger, passion or lust can destroy you, but hatred, jealousy, lack of love, lack of sympathy can also destroy your emotional well-being, your relationship with people around you. Right? Yes. Okay, that's it. That's it. Let's go and see what is the theme. So the theme of the poem Fire and Ice is about how our feelings and mindset can lead to big problems. Right? Our feelings and our mindset can create problem, can end problem. Yes or no? Yes. The poem uses fire to talk about feelings like wanting something too much. Like you want something so much that you are not thinking about anything that comes on your way. You do not realize that you are hurting someone. You do not realize that you are causing harm to someone. Just because you want, you have that particular desire, you have that passion, whether it is extreme love, extreme obsession. For anything, for any person, for anything can be harmful, can definitely be harmful. Someone so much, it's all you can think about. Right? If you are not able to think about anything else and you are that much obsessed with that particular thing or that particular person, so you are going to eventually lose that person. Just because of your obsession, just because of your desire, just because of your greed, just because of your lust you have. Right? You will reach there wherever you want to, but you will eventually lose like everything, your relationships, your people on that way, in that journey. Right? So these are that much harmful. So this kind of fire can cause trouble because it might make us do things without thinking, that we will do things without thinking. We will not realize that we are causing harm. We are destroying lives. Right? What might happen next? On the other hand, Ice is the poem is about not caring about others. Right? Or even hating them. So this ice can also cause harm because it makes us cold and pushes us away from each other. Like we are cold. We are emotionless, like we don't care if something bad is happening to someone in front of us. If you don't feel bad, if you are not helping someone in need, that means you have turned into an ice, like into a cold-hearted person, I would say, into an ice. Okay? So, yes, Fire and Ice is a strong symbolic poem where the fire is used as emotion of desire and ice and that of hatred. He has used the idea of two groups, right, who have their own possible explanation for the end of the world. He's talking about two groups. They have their own possible explanation, like the world will end in fire, the world will end because of ice. So one is the opinion that fire alone can destroy each and every possibility of life on earth, which is completely possible and which we can in today's world, we can clearly see in today's world. That people have so much anger, people have so much greed, people have so much desire, right, to be somewhere or to be a certain type, that they are not thinking about anything. Whatever they are saying, how they are living, right, how they are causing harm to other people, they are not thinking about that. They are just selfish people. They are thinking about their desire, their passion, because just because they want to earn, they literally want to earn money, or they want to be at some stage, they are going to do anything, whether it's right or wrong. So if you're not thinking what are your actions, whether they are right or wrong, that means you are on a path of destruction. Right, everyone? So yes, that's why he is saying one is the opinion that fire alone can destroy each and every possibility of life on earth, while the other thinks that if ice as a result of extremely low temperatures could cover the earth's surface, it would lead to the end of the world. Right, but he is comparing, both the components are compared with self-destructing human emotions. These are self-destructing human emotions. Please do underline this part whenever you are writing the theme or the central idea of fire and ice. Self-destructing human emotions, fire and ice, desire and hatred. Right, desire and hatred. The poet is originally of the opinion that he has been very closely associated with the fiery desires. That means maybe he has experienced that that sort of desire, that sort of passion, and maybe he has hurt so many people during that time. Right, so fiery desire, and consider it capable of bringing human beings on the verge of destruction. So he has basically been there, right? So he considers fire as more competent for destruction, but then he thinks that icy hatred is just as capable of ruining humans, though slowly and steadily, right? So therefore, if earth was to end to ice would be just as good as fire. And if a fire would lead to rapid destruction, for example, fire obviously destroys everything, turns everything into ashes, right, in blink of an eye. Then fire, if fire has that capability, then ice is pure reason. If the fire is pure passion, the ice is pure reason. It's like a slow poison, as I told you, right? It will destroy your life slowly, because you have that much of hatred in yourself, because your lack of, you do not have emotions, you have lack of sympathy, empathy, love and everything. Okay? So do not let these emotions control you, because if these emotions are growing and they are unchecked, they are definitely going to be the reason of your destruction at the end of your journey or whatever, wherever you want to be in your life. Are you guys getting my point, what I'm trying to say? Why? Very nice. So what is the central idea? Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice expresses the profound idea that the world will end in either of the two ways, by ice or by fire. Yes, both the components are compared with self-destructing human emotions. Please do write it down in your notebooks that these two are self-destructing human emotions, and hatred and desire. So the poem very artistically underpins the philosophy that we let our emotion rule us. Right? We always let our emotions rule us, and if we do not control them, they will surely destroy everything around us. Similarly, he thinks fire and ice both are competent in bringing the world to a catastrophic end. Okay, everyone. Yes. So let me give you few. Let's discuss few questions. Okay, and they are important questions like PYQs or how they are going to ask in your exams. Question number 1 is, there are many ideas about how the world will end. Do you think the world will end someday? Have you ever thought what would happen if the sun got so hot that it burst or grew colder and colder? Nice one, no? So yes, there are definitely many ideas about how the world will end. And I believe that the world will end someday, as anything that has a beginning will have an end, right? And it's completely true. If there is birth, then definitely there is death, right? And it is the truth. So he's clearly saying that if anything has a beginning, that definitely will have an end, right? So this stands true for the world also, right? If the sun got so hot that it burst, like it's like, oh my god, the whole of the earth would perish immediately as no part of the earth. So obviously everything will turn ashes, right? Everything will turn to ashes and it will be a rapid destruction, like rapid. You will not even realize that you are nowhere to be found. Right? So yes, as no part of the earth can bear the heat of that intensity. We are just human beings. Why? We are not capable to actually, we are not that much capable to actually bear that much of heat. You're not. We are just human beings. We are very vulnerable people. Right? So, but if the sun grew colder and colder, everything will come to an end, as without sunlight, life will definitely end. So, as you all know, dhire, slowly, everything will come to an end because of ice. But because of fire, it will be a rapid destruction. Everything will destroy in seconds. So, anger is more dangerous. Desire, passion is more dangerous. And what can be the reason of anger, desire, passion? Ice, hatred, jealousy, lack of love, lack of sympathy, lack of emotions. Right? Yes. For frost, what do fire and ice stand for? Here are some ideas. So you can clearly attempt this question. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem? How does it help in bringing out the contrasting ideas in the poem? So how do we find rhyme scheme? For example, some say the world will end in fire. So what you have to do is, you have to just look at the last word. Look at the last word of every sentence. For example, it's fire. So we will give it A, and then does ice rhyme with fire? Does ice rhyme with fire? No, they are not rhyming. So I'll give it B. Desire rhymes with fire? Yes. So I will give it A. And then fire, desire, fire. So A, B, A sort of rhyme scheme. Right? Yes. So that's how you find the rhyme scheme. A, B, A. Okay. So this rhyme scheme helps in bringing out the contrasting ideas of fire and ice presented in the poem. The poet mentions that both fire and ice are probable ends of this world. Yes, and he talks about how fire represents desire and can therefore be a cause of end. Please do remember, they are definitely, if they are asking you question from fire and ice, symbolism will be there. It's a symbolism. Fire is the symbol of symbolism literary device, right? Fire is the symbol of desire. Ice is the symbol of which human emotion? Hatred, right? So symbolism is there. Okay? And they will definitely ask question. What does fire represent? What does ice represent? Okay? Please be prepared and do remember. Okay, so now one more literary device we can clearly see here is some say. So the repetition of sir sound. Some say repetition of sir sound, that means a consonant sound. So whenever you see closely placed consonant sound, like closely placed words, and they have a repetition of consonant sound, that means it's alliteration literary device. As I told you before that all these tongue twisters are very good examples of alliteration literary device, and they are like Bitty bought some butter, but the butter was bitter, so she bought some more butter to make the bitter butter better, but the bitter butter made the better butter bitter. Are you guys getting my point? Are you guys getting my point, what I'm trying to say? Right? So a repetition of consonant sound, not letter. Consonant sound I'm saying. That is alliteration literary device. Okay? Okay. Next question. Frost also mentions ice in between to symbolize that the coldness and indifference towards one another will be enough to end the world. If we are cold, if we are indifferent towards one another, so obviously that can also be a reason, right? Yes. So in the second stanza, he says that he knows of enough hate in the world to be sure that even destruction through ice would be sufficient to bring about the end of the world. So again and again, you can clearly see in every answer, we are writing the same thing. We are writing the same thing. So you need to know the theme and central idea of every poem, and that will eventually help you to write a particular, a complete, a proper answer. Okay? So central idea and theme and symbolism and all these things will eventually help you to write a good answer so that you can get like full out of full marks. Okay, so it's important, please do write down all the themes of all the poems, right? Like, yes, you can make your notes like this, like I have this, all these themes of all these poems over here, so you can obviously eventually time to time revise, right? So that you can revise, obviously, right? So yes, Fire and Ice. What is the central idea of the poem Fire and Ice? The poet has tried to bring the difference. Again, you can clearly see between the fire and ice, which represents two different human emotions, and according to obviously two different kinds of people and two different kinds of emotions. According to the poet, the world can perish by fire and also by ice, thus it can perish. Perish means destroy. Twice, one by fire and then by ice. Obviously, the poet feels that the ice of hatred is as powerful as the fire of desire to bring complete end to this world. Got it, everyone? I wish and I hope. Okay, what message does, this is the last question, what message does the poet give to the reader? Once Robert Frost claimed, my poem begins in delight but ends in wisdom. So the present poem echoes the above statement. In this poem, the poet considers the age-old question whether the world will end in fire or in ice. Okay, it is quite interesting that the poet does not give his own opinion. He is just saying that I have tasted desire and I think that, right? So it is meaningless to ask which one is stronger. As we know, both of them are equally harmful to the world. They both are equally, and we associate fire with lust and greed, and we associate ice with hatred, whereas ice can be associated with hatred and indifference. So the fire of lust and greed gets publicity, but the coldness of hatred is also dangerous as it is a silent killer. So see, he's saying, he's giving this human emotion name which is silent killer. I told you that it will destroy slowly, slow poison, right? Silent killer, slow poison. All of such black sides of human nature can obstruct the progress of human civilization. These all emotions are not good, obviously, for human civilization, right? So tell me in the comment section whether you have ice and whether you have fire. Whether you are an ice person or a fire person, please do write it down in the comment section. And that's it from my side, everyone. I wish and I hope you loved today's session, and bye bye, take care, all the best.